really didn't have to come home with us, Eve.
Well, you know, I'm staying at the main house. I thought I'd just come in and make sure you're okay.
How about I run you a nice hot bath and make you some tea?
You really don't need to do all this fussing over me, honestly.
Sure?
I'm positive. Look, I'll be fine. Both of you stop worrying. I will get through this.
What about Marty?
I'm happy that you asked Beth for joint custody, and I realize that I have to get over this notion that Marty is my son and not hers.
The gall of that woman! How dare she and Louise demand joint custody of Marty?
Oh, Marty is Sheridan's son, Missy, not yours. And your problem is that she knows that deep down in her soul, and she's not letting it go.
I don't give a rat's tail what she feels deep down in her soul.
All right. So, what about Luis?
What about him?
Seems to me, Missy, he has got you backed right into a corner. Because if you refuse to give him custody, he's going to start wondering why. He may even take you to court. So you know what? You don't have any choice but to let Marty spend some good time with Louise and Sheridan, whether you like it or not.
Hell, I will. She can get her own damn kid.
Pardon me for being a stickler for details. She already has. His name is Marty. He's asleep upstairs. You kidnapped him. What do you think, you're gonna be able to pass him off as your son forever?
I can, and I will.
Think again, Missy Moo. It'll save your rear end a mess of trouble. Now, please, Bethy, please, just give Sheridan back her baby boy. Do the right thing here. Return Marty to his real mommy, his real daddy. Come on.
Never. I am not even gonna give Louise custody. It's just not gonna happen, Mother.
Wait, so tell me, how are you going to find Gwen and Jane? How are you going to bring Teresa's baby back to her?
Let's just say that I already put a plan in motion. Like I said, Whitney, I would do anything to make you feel better.
You care about me that much, huh?
More. And if bringing Teresa's baby home is the most important thing to you right now, then I'll move heaven and earth to make sure it happens.
Well, I'm going to go tell her,
No,
okay?
no, don't tell her. Don't tell her, because I don't want her to get her hopes up, and then, you know, if it doesn't work out, I probably shouldn't have told you anyway.
No, I'm glad you told me. Oh, thank you. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Yeah.
Good. So does this mean that you and I still have a chance? Because I was afraid when you turned me down on all my marriage proposals earlier that we were kind of over, you know?
Well, you know, why don't we just talk about our future later? And worry about getting Teresa's baby back now, okay?
Right. Well, I just want you to know that I love you. And I love our baby with all my heart. Oh, what do you know? Tracer's doing its thing. Alistair's on the phone. The longer he stays on the phone, the better my chances are of finding Gwen, Catherine, and Teresa's baby. If this doesn't make Whitney love me enough to marry me, I don't know what will.
I'm going to hang up now, Alistair.
Is my voice affecting you that deeply, Catherine? I know you. You're getting goosebumps, aren't you? I miss you too, darling. Yes, don't worry. We'll be together soon. And I can't wait to see you in my little gift.
I don't want to touch it, much less wear it. I don't want to see you, Alistair. I thought the deal was that you were letting me go, that you were never going to see me again, and that I would never see Martin again.
Martin, yes. Me, not quite.
But I don't want anything to do with you, Alistair.
I really don't care what you want, Catherine. It's what I want. You came to me to help you get out of Harmony, to get away from your filthy little lover. And I sent you to a very luxurious place to hide, where no one would ever find you. Except me.
This is it. This is it. It's working. Alistair's on the phone. Call's being traced. Keep talking. Keep talking, and it won't be long before I find out where you had Catherine, Gwen, and the baby taken.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of the bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
All right, the soup's ready. So, what are you doing, Whitney?
I'm researching adoption.
No.
Don't get all negative on me now. I mean, this is my only solution, please.
The only solution is to eat the soup that I just heated up for you, get some meat on those bones before you have your child.
Look, I told you, I can't keep anything down, so there's no use trying.
You have to feed your baby, Whitney.
The most important thing is finding adoptive parents for my baby before I think about food, okay?
Well, I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Well, believe it. Honey, I can't keep this baby. I can't even consider raising my half-brother's child. What kind of life would that be?
We'll deal with that when the time comes.
Well, the time is now. My baby is about to be born. Look, the least I can do is try to set him or her up in the best way I can, okay? Now, don't argue with me about this. I am placing my child up for adoption, okay?
And what about you?
Me? I'll move someplace far away and I'll start my life over. Just try to put this horrible thing behind me.
You really don't think I would send you to a place where I couldn't visit you, do you?
That was our agreement.
Agreement? Don't you mean understanding? Catherine, you're mine. And, you asked me for a favor. I granted you that favor. Don't you think that there would be certain stipulations attached?
Stipulations? Alistair, I made it very clear to you that I
repulse you? That I offend your sensibilities? You've said all that, Catherine. But one thing I don't like, and I can't stand, is being compared to Martin Fitzgerald.
Martin is more of a gentleman than you will ever be.
Catherine, don't you understand? You are mine. And you knew that when you accepted my generosity.
No.
You wanted to be taken to a place where your filthy lover could never find you. I granted you that wish. I went to a lot of trouble to grant that wish for you, so don't pretend that you thought it was coming from the generosity and the goodness of my heart. Catherine, you are in my debt. You are deeply in my debt, and I will continue to collect my payments for as long as we shall live.
Just me. The girls are in the kitchen. What are you hiding? What is that thing?
Hey, it's the bug. It's working. It's actually working. Alistair's in his office. He's on the phone right now. His call's being traced.
Show me.
Oh, look, I don't know what it means, but...
Fox, how do you know this isn't some random work call that means nothing?
No. Trust me, I know his habits, okay? He doesn't do work this late in the day. This is Catherine.
All right, well, how do you find out where she is?
Well, that's the beauty of the bug I planted. All I have to do is download the actual tracer onto my laptop.
Laptop? There's a laptop around here. I saw one.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the girls are using it in the kitchen. I got one in the car.
So who knew you were such a techie, huh?
Guess all those computer games I played in college actually paid off, huh? You know what this means, don't you?
Yeah, it means you're a little closer to finding out where Alistair had Catherine flown.
Yeah, that's right. And Gwen. And the baby.
That I know.
Yeah.
All right?
Which means it's only a matter of days, maybe even hours, before we bring them home safely. So Teresa will have her baby back. You'll be facing the biggest decision of your life. Teresa or Gwen?
Look, will the two of you stop treating me like a fragile piece of Crane porcelain? I will get through this just fine.
So then you're overthinking that Marty is our baby?
Our baby? The baby that was taken away from me just minutes after I gave birth to him? All I know is that I trust you, Louise. All right? If you say that Marty is not our son, then I have to believe you. And whatever feelings that I have towards Marty, I just have to accept that he's Beth's son and not mine.
You're just saying that because you think it's what Eve and I want to hear?
Of course not. Look, I know that it's not going to be easy to be around Marty because I feel such a connection to him. But I do promise that when I am around him, I'll act appropriately. Look, I know that I'm being ridiculous. I know that I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. You know what? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go freshen up.
You see how hard she's trying?
Can't blame her for how she feels in her gut, Louise.
Yeah, but she's trying to hide that pain because of me. And it's killing me that she feels this badly.
Well, time will do wonders. That and spending time with Marty.
What if it doesn't?
We can't think that way.
Yeah, it's just hard not to, considering last time she almost had a nervous breakdown.
Yes, but she didn't. She's a strong, resilient young woman, and she can tell reality from fantasy. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be concerned with her emotional state, but I think there are other ways to deal with her conflicts.
Like her spending time with Marty?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I've already spoken with Beth, so that shouldn't be a problem. I just hope her being around little Marty doesn't make Sheridan worse instead of better.
I don't care what Luis wants. He's not gonna get more custody of Marty, not when it means he'll end up spending more time with Sheridan.
Luis has parental rights. If he wants Marty to spend more time with his girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, then that's his beeswax.
It's not gonna happen.
You know, and I know, that the more time Marty and Sheridan spend together, the harder it is going to be for you to keep them from connecting, which is God's will as mother and son, and the angels of mercy can't wait for that day to come, because Judgment Day is a-coming. It's going to be better than the rapture, Missy. So you better get yourself to Father Lonigan for confession, or you will have hell to pay.
Guess what? I'm not afraid of your damn angels of mercy.
Oh, blasphemy from the she-devil. But, Bethy, let me tell you, it's not too late for you. You can save yourself. You can save your soul. Just give Marty back to his real parents, please, before all is lost and you burn in the hellfires forever, huh?
Okay, there's no reason for you to feel sad. Marty is not your son. Luis is sure of it. Huh. Did you get everything?
Who knows? I never knew babies needed so much stuff.
Oh, you don't mind, do you?
Mine. It's the best day of my life. You look beautiful, by the way.
Never even knew I could feel this way. I just love this little baby so much. I love you more than I ever did. the way it was supposed to be. Luis and I were supposed to have our baby. We were supposed to be happy.
You say you've thought this through, Whitney, but you haven't. Please don't make this any harder than it already is. Let's not argue, okay? You know, you're supposed to be my best friend, the one person in the world who would stick by me no matter what.
Which I will. But as your best friend, Whitney, I gotta keep you from making the worst mistake of your life. You cannot want to give your baby up for adoption.
What I want doesn't really have a place in my life anymore. I'm pregnant by Chad. I mean, do you have any inkling what that feels like?
No. But you keep talking like you committed the sin, like you knew that you and Chad were brother and sister when you slept together.
Well, like the other kids on the playground are gonna go any easier on my child because Chad and I didn't know what we were doing? No, Teresa, get real here.
You get real.
No, I'm trying. Think about it. Think about what my child's life would be like, please.
I am thinking. I'm thinking that Fox would be a wonderful father for your baby.
Oh, okay, yeah. That is a really great solution. I marry Fox and use him to give my child some sense of legitimacy. Now, how do I use one of the nicest men I have ever met? I can barely live with myself as it is. And you know what? It would be 1,000 times worse to let Fox continue to believe that he's the father of my child. I can't put my problems on someone else like that. No, adoption is my only solution, Teresa.
Well, who are you and what have you done with Whitney?
God, I am not in the mood for games right now.
You know what? Neither am I, Whitney. Don't you remember when we were kids how we used to talk about raising our children together? I'm just telling you, Whitney, that once your baby is born, once you look at that tiny, trusting face, you are not going to want to spend one day of your life without your child.
Maybe that's what happened with your babies, but it's going to be different with mine.
You're wrong, Whitney. It doesn't matter who the father is. It's your baby. A baby you have been carrying inside of you for months now. A baby you have already bonded with, whether you want to believe it or not. And that love grows stronger when you see each other. You know, with all the struggles that I have had with little Ethan and Jane, I wouldn't spend one day of my life without either one of them. That's why it's tearing me up not to have Jane. The pain of not knowing where Gwen has taken her, if I'll ever see her again, that is more than I can bear.
I know, but this is your situation, okay?
And you, Whitney, and every other mother that I have ever met. That's just the way it is. You can't turn your feelings on and off for your child because it's somehow inconvenient or causes problems. Don't you remember how we used to talk about it when we were children?
Okay, I'm the mother and this is my baby daughter, Lulu. No fair, Whitney. You always get to be the mommy. Because that's my dream. When I grow up, I'm gonna have lots and lots of babies, love every one of them with all my heart.
Do you actually think, Catherine, that I would help you without expecting some kind of payment?
Please, please, please leave me alone.
There's no Martin Fitzgerald this time to help you. And no one will except me. Right now, Catherine, you will do everything I want you to do because you're my property. Basically, you're my slave.
So all I have to do is plug the tracking device into the computer like that. Voila, map. See, he's trying to find out where Alistair's calling.
Yeah. Fox, how do you know? How do you know this isn't some late-night call he's making to his broker across town?
Oh, look, there you go. See, cursor's moving across the ocean. It's circling around there, trying to zoom in.
Yeah, at least it keeps moving, huh?
Yeah, well, it'll stop when it finds the destination.
Yeah, or if Alistair ends the call.
Well, thanks for your glass-half-full attitude, Ethan.
Fox, I'm just
saying. No, look, we gotta
it could-
hope that Alistair stays on the phone long enough so that Gwen and the baby can be found, brought home safely. Or not.
I resent that.
You can resent it all you want, Ethan. But I know when I've struck a nerve. I just got myself a bullseye.
to let go of all this. Just that when I'm with Marty, I am on cloud 9. When I'm not, God, I can't keep doing this to myself or to Louise. I have to let go of this notion that Marty is my son.
Mommy loves you so much. With all of her heart and soul. She always will.
How can I let go of something that I know is true? It's true in my heart and my soul. Marty's my son.
So, Luis, you're sure that Beth isn't going to have any problem with the joint custody between you?
Well, how can she say no? I'm the boy's father. And just because Beth and I aren't together, that's really no reason for her to deny me equal time with my own son.
Yes, but she could argue that you just sprung it on her out of the blue because you want Sheridan to spend time with Marty. There's a lot of emotional history there.
Well, you heard Sheridan. She seems to understand that Marty isn't her son, and, well, you said yourself that being with the child will help Sheridan heal more quickly than any traditional medicine could.
Well, when I mentioned that, I was thinking more along the lines of you and Sheridan having your own child.
Which we will. But have you seen the way Sheridan lights up when Marty's around?
Yes. Yes, I don't think I've ever seen her so happy as when she's with that little boy.
Now, I'll tell you something. Marty feels the same way. I mean, he adores her. Always has. Now, I would have asked Beth for more time with Marty when he was born, but I just figured that I would wait till Sheridan and I were married. But now I just don't see any reason to wait, especially when there's a potential that he can help her.
Well, you did raise the question, Louise. Now, there's a possibility that Sheridan spending time with Marty could make it even more difficult for her to realize that he's not her son.
Well, I don't know what else to try. I know there's a risk, but it seems worth it when I see that smile on Sheridan's face.
I know, I agree. I think that the potential benefits are worth the risk. I think the more time that Sheridan spends with Marty, the more fulfilled that she will feel. And the sooner she will get over thinking that he's the son that she so tragically lost.
Why prolong the inevitable, Missy? Come on. Oh, you're such a pathetic loser.
Don't call me that.
And admit defeat. Come on, give Marty back to his real mommy and his real daddy. Come on.
Not even in your warped dreams, all right?
Oh, then he is gonna be snatched from your scrawny little arms, Missy.
Look, Marty is my son, and I'm gonna keep him.
Well, what about the visitation rights that Louise asked for, huh? You cannot say no to a child's daddy.
I'm not just gonna flat out say no, but I will put him off, and I'm just gonna keep stalling until I figure out a plan. But Sheridan is not gonna start spending more time with Marty. That's all there is to it. I went to a lot of trouble to make Marty my son.
Yeah, like lying, kidnapping, attempted murder.
Yeah, that was a lot of hard work.
Oh.
All right, Marty's my son. He's gonna be my son forever.
Don't come here, Alistair. Please, I'm begging you, don't come here.
You'll be begging me for a lot more once you are in my arms.
No. Take me back to Harmony if this is part of the deal. You never told me.
You never asked. Now it's too late. So do me a favor, Catherine. Make yourself very beautiful. I'll be arriving soon, and I want you looking your best. Ciao, baby. For now. Oh, yes, Catherine. They're all mine. All mine.
Oh, damn it.
What? What happened?
Well, Alistair ended the call.
Oh, don't tell me this whole thing was an exercise in futility.
Well, I
folks.
don't know. I mean, not necessarily. You know, the command was already put in place, so just because the call was terminated doesn't necessarily mean it can't be traced. I'm just gonna keep trying a couple things here.
Once you place your baby up for adoption, Whitney, it's over. Your child will belong to the people who become its legal parents.
Yeah, that's the idea.
You're reaching for a solution out of desperation, Whitney.
And that is no way to make a reasonable, life-changing decision.
Wait a minute. Since when have any of your decisions been based on logic at all? I mean, all your decisions are based on fate and destiny, and yeah, 9 times out of 10, desperation.
Yeah, well, why don't you learn from my mistakes then, Whitney? You're right, my life hasn't been a fairy tale.
No kidding.
But I always follow my heart, Whitney. This isn't about logic. You're right. This isn't about what makes sense. This is about how you're going to feel the moment you hold your child in your arms.
My brother's child.
You're not going to be thinking that.
How do you know that?
Because I wasn't thinking that when I held my son. Sure, I could have looked at my son and thought of Julian, the man that I despised and detested, who I apparently married in a drunken haze. But I wasn't thinking that, Whitney. When I saw my son's face, when I felt his fingers wrap around mine, I was a goner. I knew I would love him no matter what, come hell or high water, no matter who the father was. That's the way it works.
Yeah, well, it's going to be different for me.
Well, you know what? You don't know what you're talking about, Whitney, and you're not going to have any idea what you're talking about until the moment that you hold the child that you've been carrying inside of you for months. The second that you see its face, the second that you realize that you are all it has in this world, everything changes. Nothing else is ever important again.
You know what, honey, I know you mean well in this
Well,
whole
you know what?
thing,
If you don't believe me, Whitney, then just ask any other mother on the street. Ask them what happened for them the moment they looked into their child's eyes. For God's sake, this isn't about your relationship to Chad, Whitney. We're talking about a part of you. And that is never gonna go away, ever. I bet Sheridan would trade places with you in a heartbeat.
What?
She was devastated, Whitney, when her baby was ripped out of her arms right after it was brought into this world.
No, this is a completely different situation.
It's not a different situation when we're talking about losing a baby after it's brought into this world. She had an emotional breakdown. It nearly killed her. If that's not enough to convince you, Whitney, what about your own mother?
God, I don't want to talk about her.
Well, too
okay?
bad, Whitney, because it's another example of what I'm talking about. She almost went crazy not knowing where her son was. Is that what you want to have happen to you?
But see, my situation is different because this is my choice here.
You're naive, Whitney. You're totally underestimating the feelings that you are going to have for your baby. It's not about the father, Whitney. It's about you, the baby's mother. And you are gonna love that child with all of your being, and that is never gonna go away, ever. You wanna break your own heart?
My heart's already broken. And if there's anything left to be hurt, then I deserve it for being with Chad.
Whitney, you didn't know that you and Chad were brother and sister when you slept together.
You know, you keep saying that like that's gonna make a difference in my child's future. I mean, my God, my child has enough to deal with once it's born. And if I do go ahead and try to raise it, everybody's gonna know the truth about me and Chad. And I can't do that to an innocent little baby. So don't you see, I have to do this. I have to give my baby a chance, no matter how I feel about it.
Well, I can't let you do it. I can't let you make the biggest mistake of your life.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna find a way to stop you.
You're not gonna tell Fox and Chad, are you? Teresa, tell me you're not gonna tell Fox.
Did you find it? Did you pinpoint where Alistair's calling yet?
No,
or
I'm
what?
trying, you know. If he was on the phone long enough, we'll be able to find out exactly where Catherine, Gwen, and your baby are. This is driving you crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, Fox, this is driving me crazy. All right, we're talking about Gwen here. We're talking about my little girl here.
Yeah, here's what I think. Here's what I think's going on in that lawyerly brain of yours. I think half of you really does want your baby and Gwen to be brought home safely. And then I think there's the other half of you that just assume they stay gone.
Fox, that is a bunch of bull, all right?
Never kid a kidder, Ethan. You're still in love with Teresa and you know it. And if Gwen's found and she comes home safely, all of her worst fears about you and Teresa are going to be confirmed. So what's it going to be? You going to choose Gwen, the woman that you promised to spend the rest of your life married to, or is it going to be Teresa and Jane, the love of your life, the little baby you two made together? I don't know what I was thinking when I used to want to be you.
Of all the times for Luis to decide he wants to spend more quality hours with his son.
The Lord works in mysterious ways. I think he is trying to right a terrible wrong.
You might be onto something there.
Uh-oh, what's happening? You never agree with me about anything.
Listen, if Sheridan needs Marty so much, if she has to have a baby around her for her own well-being, and I succeed in keeping her little boy away from her, might be just enough to push her right over the edge again. Right back into Bonkersville, where she will never get out, because I will make sure they throw away the key. No more Sheridan, no more problem. No, you're right, Mother. The Lord does work in mysterious ways.
Oh, the Lord has nothing to do with this, Missy.
You know I'll do anything I can to help Sheridan get through this, right?
I'm sure she knows that.
Tell ya, man, that poor girl, she suffered more in her short life than most people have in 80 years. Her mother disappearing again certainly didn't help things.
Well, my understanding was Catherine left because she thought it would make it better for the two of you.
Yeah, well, I guess that backfired. Now Sheridan blames me for losing her mother all over again. I'll tell you, Sheridan and I, we've had some arguments, but she has never been as upset with me as she was earlier tonight.
And she seems to have forgiven you.
Well, maybe for the time being, but who knows how long that's gonna last.
Just don't push her, okay? Give her the time and the space to figure things out for herself.
I know, it's just hard. I just want to take her in my arms and tell her how much I love her.
I know, but just go easy on her.
I will. I just hope she loves me as much as I love her. Hey there. Need anything?
No, not now, thank you. Look, I've been thinking about that horrible fight that we had before I went to Beth's house. I mean, I could have died from that gas leak.
Yeah. Thank God you didn't. And I just wanted to tell you I'm really sorry about everything that I said before.
Which is why we need to talk about it, because there's something really important that I need to tell you. Something about our future.
Promise me you're not going to go to Fox, Teresa. Don't tell Fox that Chad's really the father of my baby, okay?
He deserves to know.
Don't betray me like this. You are my best friend. I have kept your deepest, darkest secrets for years against my better judgment, and I've kept your confidence, honey. I have kept your secrets all these years. Promise me, give me your word you're not going to say anything, please.
You have it.
Thank you.
But it doesn't mean I agree with your decision, Whitney, to place your child up for adoption. I know what's going to stop you.
The feeling I have after the baby's born, yeah, I know.
No, Whitney. Something even your stubbornness can't push aside. See that? There's no way in the world you can get around that.
I won't let him touch me. I won't. Oh, God. What have I done? What have I done? Oh, God, what have I done?
The arrangements you requested have been finalized, sir.
The jet is ready?
fully fueled, ready for takeoff to your secret destination whenever you choose to leave.
And no one else is privy to that location?
Not a soul, sir. Not even air traffic control. Your flight plan will never be traced by anyone. You can come and go as you please without fear of surveillance.
Just as long as you know I cannot be followed, I'm going to be making this trip quite frequently, at a moment's notice.
Consider it done.
I'll be departing shortly. Wait to hear from me.
This must be extremely important to you, Mr. Crane. I mean, to go to such incredible lengths to protect your privacy.
Yes, Jerry, it is. Very important to me. Won't be long now, Catherine. I can see you as often as I like. You're all mine now. Completely.
Fox, look, this isn't telling us anything we didn't already guess. You know, they're somewhere overseas, right?
Look, don't give up, okay? It's still trying to find the location there. You know, you're not the only one with a lot on the line here. I want to find Teresa's baby, but I'm doing this for Whitney, too.
Even if it costs you your Crane inheritance?
Oh, come on. Ethan, I know Alistair well enough to know that he'd never give me a dime anyway. If I'm worried about anything, it's the fact that he's going to kill me if he finds out.
Mm-hmm. And you know what he does to his, disloyal lackeys, right?
Yeah, I know. He snuffs them out, right? So how do you think he'd feel about a disloyal grandson?
Same way.
I was afraid of that. It's just not really a good thought, considering I want to stay alive for Whitney and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's it? That's it?
What? Was Alistair on long enough to trace the call? Did you find Gwen and Jane's location?
We can just disappear together. No one will find us.
I know exactly where Catherine, Gwen, and the baby are.
I will have Louise. I will. My son, Marty. I know it. I'm gonna find a way to get you back.